To make a great sandwich, you need great ingredients, and the same goes for your work and yourself. The way you layer them, balance them, and maybe even toast them a little, that's what makes something memorable. I'm Ara Topouzian, and this is The Idea Sandwich, where we mix the right layers of creativity, business, and life to make something worth biting into. Because sometimes one good idea can change the way you see everything else. One of the most underrated leadership skills today has nothing to do with strategy, titles, or how well you speak in a meeting. It's the ability to make people feel comfortable. I learned that from my Uncle Ike. He looked like a football player. Broad shoulders, strong hands, someone you probably didn't want to mess with. Well, actually, I know you didn't want to mess with him, but that's besides the point. But the second he smiled or started talking, people relaxed around him instantly. What always struck me as a kid was how conversational he was with complete strangers. We couldn't walk anywhere without him greeting someone. Didn't matter who it was. Could have been a cashier, a guy in the street, somebody waiting in line. He didn't talk to them politely or awkwardly. He talked to them almost like he already knew them. He would strike up a conversation. Back then, I remember wondering, why is he talking to people he doesn't even know? Years later, I understand it differently. My uncle wasn't just being friendly. He was practicing a powerful leadership skill, making people feel seen. And that matters. Because whether you're leading a team, building a business, networking at an event, or just trying to build trust, people respond to how you make them feel. They may not remember your exact words. They may not even remember your title, but they will remember whether you made them feel comfortable, respected, and included. I saw this again when I traveled to Armenia with my father and Uncle Ike in the late 1990s. We didn't know anyone there, and I barely understood the language. But my uncle could walk into a shop, talk to a taxi driver, or start a conversation with someone on the street, and within minutes, they were laughing together. And that stayed with me. Connection has very little to do with status. It has very little to do with having the perfect line. It starts with being present, curious, and open. And I'll admit, I wasn't always great at that. When I was younger, I could be sarcastic, maybe a little too quick with a comment. I don't think I was trying to be unkind, but looking back, I probably missed chances to make people feel better simply because I was too focused on being clever. Over time, I learned something simple. Kindness is not weakness. Warmth is not small talk. And being approachable is not just a personality trait, it's a leadership advantage. Some of the best opportunities I've had professionally didn't begin with a formal pitch or a perfectly planned meeting. They started with a simple conversation after an event, a quick exchange over coffee, or taking a few extra seconds to ask someone a real question. That's where trust often begins. We tend to think networking is about collecting names, handing out business cards, or making sure people know what we do. But real networking is about creating comfort. It's about making someone feel like they can relax around you, talk honestly, and be themselves. That's what good leaders do. They create environments where people feel safe enough to speak, contribute, ask questions, and share ideas. They don't make every interaction about themselves. They notice people, they listen, and they make room. And the good news is this can be practiced. Say hello to someone first. Learn their name. Ask a question and actually listen to the answer. Put your phone away. Smile. Be the person who makes the room feel a little easier to enter. Those things may sound small, but they're not insignificant. Your reputation is built in those small moments. How to treat the cashier, the server, the intern, the new person in the room, or the person who can do absolutely nothing for you. That is leadership too. So here's the takeaway. Don't underestimate the power of being warm, curious, and human. People want to follow leaders they trust. They want to work with people who make them feel valued. And often that begins with something incredibly simple, a smile, a question, 2 easy words, hello there. Funny enough, all these years later, I still think about those walks with my uncle. At the time, I thought he was just talking too much. Now I realize he was building connections everywhere he went. Maybe that's something we all need a little more of these days. Thank you for listening to Idea Sandwich. I'm Ara Topouzian, and if nothing else, maybe today's reminder is simple. Say hello first.